And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford. Come right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, as well, Inside Sports Fantasy Football coming later this month to wherever you get your podcasts. Also, as well, our good friends, the Lakerholics crew. That is Jamie Sweet, Laker Tom, and Michael Heinrich. They're coming by tomorrow morning. I may even stop by. You never know. Go ahead around 11 a.m. on Sunday. Go ahead and check out what they have to say on the latest Lakers trade rumors and more. Go ahead and check it out right here on this channel. Also, as well, of course, all the great things that John Costa is doing. Big shout out to Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner, which we're also on right now. Go ahead and support John Costa's great channels today. Also, our good friends, Mr. Stone Hansen at report_court. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Also as well, of course, Empire Jeff TV, Lakers in 5. All those great channels. Please support today. But also make sure you go ahead and support us by liking and subscribing. We are at $17.99 on the subscriber scale. One short of 1,800. We're looking forward to going ahead and having you part of what we do right here at the Lakers Fast Break podcast. Well, Team USA in its final tune-up, which because they already qualified for the quarterfinals with their last victory, you could say this was essentially a tune-up, but also an important game as far as where they would be seated because the point differential would come into play. And after getting off to a slow start, 29-25, being down to Puerto Rico, they decided with the second team to kick it into high gear, and that they did. Halfway through the second quarter, really started to dominate and take over, and basically, stop me if you heard this before, cruised in the second half to another easy double-digit victory, 104-83, and here today to go ahead and discuss another dominating victory as their next game will be on Tuesday against Brazil. Now, these are very important. There's single elimination now. No more chances at a slip-up for Team USA. He's a good man indeed. He is the mastermind behind Simblades. Simblades with a Y.com. And, of course, he is Ox9247 at LakersBall.com. It is Joe Soro. Joe, another convincing victory for Team USA. They face Brazil in the first of what hopefully will be a very, very good trip to a gold medal in Paris.
Yeah, this was the Anthony Edwards show. And all they have to do is take turns at this point. Sorry to say for the Brazilians, but the end is near, or I should say knee.
The end is nigh.
Nigh? Is it nigh or knee?
I think it's nigh.
Yeah, the end is nigh. We haven't been sugarcoating this at all. And by the way, I am mobile. I have had a few nightcaps, even a celebratory cigar. And yes, it's that kind of night. And I'm looking forward to the USA team to finally close this out here in the next few games, and then we can start thinking about what's coming in September, October, and hopefully, I say hopefully, I wouldn't say I'm drunk, but I am somewhat tipsy, and I just want to enjoy dominance. I want to enjoy the excellence of what American basketball is, which is what we've seen here in the last few weeks. I don't think we've ever gotten off that. I hope that the audience understands that when we see dominance, when we see excellence, when we see perfection, close to perfection, it's what it is. It's just, this is going to likely be the fifth straight Olympic gold medal that the USA team, and they should be doing this. This is how it should be. '04 was an anomaly. '72 was an anomaly. Um, America made basketball what it is, and I think it always should continue. And I, much like soccer in Brazil, soccer in France, Italy, USA is basketball, and I'm probably not as invested in the USA game, but I still love my country, and I still love what I've seen with what they've been doing. And in a few weeks here, we're going to see a formality, and I have no doubt about that.
Well, respectfully, maybe they will challenge your words as far as on the women's side in soccer because Trinity Rodman, aka the daughter of Dennis Rodman, won it for today for against Japan 1-0 with an amazing corner kick that she made. Was absolutely just right there on the side, and then she just kicked it right into the corner of the goal. Absolutely fantastic. This girl is really talented. So you never know, Joe. A chip off the old block and being a star for Trinity Rodman.
I don't think it's an accident that the women's soccer team is playing well and motivated. I think they got rid of a lot of dead baggage in the last few months. I could get into more detail there, but I don't want to go into the negative. But I'm very happy that the girls' soccer team is doing what they're doing, and I'm confident that they'll probably end up in the same spot as the American basketball team. And again, I'm crossing my fingers that they do. All our differences and all our emotions and focus in times like this should be set aside, and we all need to be thinking in the same mindset, and that winning and excellence needs to be the priority, and it seems like both teams are doing that.
I know somebody that we have spoken about as far as one of the poor performers on Team USA in their basketball is Joel Embiid. We've also talked about Stephen Curry, but both those guys had their moments under the sun today. Stephen Curry still kind of struggling, but I know that Henry's out there. What happened to Joel Embiid? He's looked injured. He's looked slow. He's looked sluggish. He did take the game off previously. He was the guy that sat out the last game, but 15 points today and 2 block shots. If they can get that kind of performance from Joel Embiid, not too bad.
Joel and Steph is, I don't know. I don't know if we're witnessing motivational deficiencies or maybe possibly skill deficiencies. I'm not going to go there yet. I'm going to wait till the season starts and ends before I say anything about Steph Curry. But we all know Joel Embiid did not belong on this team. But I'm satisfied with his performance today. I think it was his best performance of this run. And you just need a couple guys to go off, and this team can likely dominate any game at this point.
That's what's so scary, Joe, is because that while most of the teams that are out there that are competing, that are still out there, have 1 or 2 players that could go off, Team USA, it could literally be anyone on that roster can have a great game that can catapult this team to victory. That's what's scary is that basically you have what, maybe 10 scorers out there that could lead the team in scoring and that could provide that kind of punch, as opposed to any other team that might have 1, 2, or maybe even 3 at best.
Yeah, Greg Hill and the selection committee spread it out as best as they could. They tried to pick certain players that complemented, let's say, the heavy scorer types. And I honestly don't think it would have mattered either way. If the difference between White versus Jaylen Brown versus whomever that was an all-star, perennial all-star in the NBA, it just wouldn't have mattered. I think you had the core players, the core difference makers on this team. One way or the other, I think they would have found their way, and they did. And you're going to likely see that next couple games. And the United States basketball team will again win the gold, win it decisively, and will almost feel like, well, this is how it should be. And it is. We can be confident enough to say that. and we've been on record to do that. We've been on record in saying that. It's just it makes too much sense. This is we've watched this enough. We know who's on there. We know who these people are. We know what's out there too. We know the Serbias and the Frances and the Puerto Ricos. They just don't have enough to combat this kind of an arsenal. Even if someone like Steph Curry continued to shoot 2 for 13 or Embiid continued to be Embiid, you're gonna have other guys pick up the slack. You have great players that haven't even really had a chance to play, and Steve Kerr talked about this a few times. In that, how can he allocate enough minutes, especially in the international game? So you got 48 minutes in the NBA. In the international game, you have 40 minutes. So you have 8 less minutes that you can spread out that wealth, and it seems like the players understand that too. I don't think anybody here is trying to upstage anyone or trying to create a rift in that, oh, well, I need to have more of a say in how this thing turns out. No, they're all going to be there to collect the gold when this is done. And whether they play 3 minutes, 4 minutes, or no minutes, they all understand their roles and they're gonna roll with it.
Very even and balanced scoring for Team USA. LeBron James and Anthony Davis wanted to get them in there today, Joe. The best statistic I saw was the fact that both played under 20 minutes combined. They had 20 points. They had 12 rebounds combined. They also had 3 block shots and 11 assists. When you're doing that, Joe, when you're giving the team that kind of support, of course, Tatum also played well as well to getting 10 and 10 himself. So really, you just don't see anyone that can compete with this kind of depth that Team USA actually has.
It's too much talent. It's just too much talent. And if neither, even if there's a player there that's creating bad chemistry, it still doesn't matter. They're just too good. And I haven't seen any reason to think of anything other than these guys are going to go where they go, or they're going to go where they're going to go, and they're going to go where we want them to go. Win it all. We're about winning. We're about results. USA's creating the results, and they're going to put a stamp on this here in a couple games.
Once again, it is Joe Soro along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching this thing. Truly appreciate it. Thought we'd stop by for just a few minutes on a Saturday night talking about Team USA's victory over Puerto Rico today. Comfortably, they pulled away in the second half and never looked back. Again, we've talked about this before. The only thing I think that will stop Team USA is themselves and the lack of focus or anything like that happening along the way, Joe. But these early rounds where upsets are likely to happen has gotten out of the way with Team USA providing comfortable wins each and every time out, even after getting down in some of these cases by, I think even a double digits at one point in one of the games, but they still found their way through and found comfortable victories overall. What do you do what do you think they'll do to fight off any kind of lack of focus? Because if they don't take Brazil or any of these teams seriously and they keep them in the game for 3.5 quarters, who knows what can happen?
I'm gonna use a comparison. The current USA team is similar to the Lakers when they met the New Jersey Nets in 2002. So they came out of the gate in that finals pretty much blowing out New Jersey in game one. There was a little bit of competition in game two, but not really. And in game three, New Jersey led, I think, was by 7. I think with maybe 7 or 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And then as soon as they turned the switch, we all, if you can remember, or if you paid attention back then, or if you're historians like we are as well, we saw what the Lakers ended up doing. I really am comparing this particular run almost to the 2002 Laker championship team. It just, there's too much talent. The talent that they're playing against is too deficient. It's just not going to matter. It just does not matter. They're gonna find a way to win. They're gonna find a way to pull away, even if they're relaxed or not really taking it seriously, and they're gonna end up with more points at the end of the game than their opponent.
Well, it does look like it's going to be something very accomplishable, achievable for Team USA. But their next game is Tuesday, and they're going to be playing against Brazil. The game, I believe, let me go ahead and see if I can check it out. What that next game is, it is on Tuesday the 6th. It's at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, so that's 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Go ahead and check it out on NBC. But before we head on out, my friend, again, I thought we would stop by real quick and share our respects for yesterday's second of three Kobe statues was unveiled yesterday. And this one, I guess if you remember correct, because I was watching that game, this was Kobe, one of the last times he visited. He visited at that time was the Staples Center, along with Gigi. They enjoyed a game. I think it was against Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. And I think I remember
It
other
was
players.
Atlanta. It
Yeah,
was Atlanta
and
because
they
Gigi was enamored with Trey Young. Trey
yes,
Young was her favorite player at the time.
remember Trey
And
Young coming over to Kobe and talking to them both. Yes.
right, and I'll let you finish your line on this, and then I'll continue on what the results of that particular game was because he was wearing a Philadelphia Eagles beanie. Whom, for those of you who don't know, he was a big Philadelphia Eagles fan
Well,
and
he's
was
from the
also
area.
wearing yes, and he was also wearing a WNBA hoodie, which sold out. They sold out that that particular hoodie in like 13 minutes or something.
Yes, it was some
Yeah,
crazy number.
yeah, it was. For those of you who don't, when you ask, well, why are celebrities, let's say, wearing Louis Vuitton bags or Gucci sweaters, and why do they wear those things? Well, they wear those things a lot of times because they do up the sales, and sometimes it's direct or indirect. And in Kobe's situation, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but he was a staunch supporter of the WNBA, and he made a difference that night wearing a orange WNBA hoodie, and that whole league was the league has ascended a little bit here because of Caitlin Clark, and Kobe was Kobe and Gigi were on the path of creating even bigger notoriety for that league. And I remember talking to a good friend of mine who was a huge Laker fan, huge Kobe fan. I remember talking to him about this, and we had talked about this on the show, I think a couple of years ago. I remember saying, "Hey, man, hey, we're going to be watching the WNBA draft, waiting to see where Gigi plays, and we were likely going to root for that team and probably follow that team, much like how we follow the Lakers." There was a lot of promise there, and looking at it away from the family and just the personal tragedy of what happened in 2020, we were looking at the fact that these two were going to change an entire league, and they were already doing that. Kobe already was doing that. We lost from a sports perspective. We lost a lot with those two passing away, and picking that particular statue. Now, I'm not looking at the statue in the same way most of you are. I don't like the morbidity. Is it
Morbidity.
morbidity? Yeah, I don't like it because I don't want to believe he's gone. And the more statues and the more tributes there are of Kobe, the more I realize from a personal standpoint that he's gone. But as
Well,
long as his family's happy,
okay.
as long as his family's happy with it, I know uh, Capri and Vanessa and Natalia. I know the family was there; they were very happy with it. As long as
They
they're happy,
posed
I'm
with
happy.
with the statue. So
Correct. They're very happy, and as long as they're happy, I'm happy. But at the same time, it's difficult for me to see something like that from a
Of course.
Lakers standpoint, from a Kobe fan standpoint, because I feel like it only adds more to the fact that he's gone.
Well, I agree as far as the impact it had in the WNBA at that point in time. What Kobe wore, obviously, that big uh, boost that they got. I was very happy to see what they were doing and what he was doing to try to promote the league. Obviously, the league is now seeing better times with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese dominating the headlines, and both of them having now very good seasons. After Caitlin Clark got off to a rough start, she's playing substantially better now. Angel Reese is obviously dominating the headlines herself with double double after double double. So women's basketball seems to be in a growing place and continuing. I know here in Vegas that it seems to be doing quite well and selling out quite a bit. So hopefully continued success for the WNBA. But yes, I think for me, while you say it is, provides a little bit of that morbidity for you, I think it provides me a reminder that of how much he cared for his daughters. As a fellow girl dad, it just reminds me how much a dad can love his daughters and provide. And I remember watching that scene. I was watching it live when he did lean over and gives love to his daughter at that point in time. I was touched then, and seeing it now, I'm very touched now. And you as a girl dad as well. But I understand why, just trying to just come to grips with the fact that he is gone. We're going to be doing this one more time, Joe, as a third statue is yet to be unveiled. But it already is, abundantly clear that this organization, and rightly so to an extent, puts him on a pedestal like no other Laker in history. He is the top Laker to the organization. It's very clear, even after his tragic death, his tragic passing, and it's clear that this organization is trying to do what it can to remember Kobe and the things he did.
It's easier to set up remembrance for someone who's not here anymore. I'm 50-50 on how I feel on that. I feel it's more important to celebrate people when they're alive versus when they're gone. It's much easier to celebrate those who are gone. But this was just something that we didn't expect. This wasn't something where Kobe was at the end and lived a full life. Some would argue that he did live a full life. I don't feel that. I feel like he had a lot left.
I
A
agree.
lot left. He was he was going he was going on a path that would have likely changed a league from a sports standpoint. He would have continued to have been a father, a husband, a son. And that's obviously the most important part of this in the end. And his family and his friends lost that, and that can never go. That cannot come back. It just can't come back, and I can't help but still feel sad about it. I can't fully feel happy ever when it comes to the Kobe Bryant story. We lost something that I think we'll never know really the capacity of what we lost. No, Mission, I'm not. It's not raining. I'm in a jacuzzi right now.
Well, there you go. Some type of, I guess, wetness will be there for you as
I
far
am
as
in a
in the jacuzzi.
jacuzzi. There's lights in the jacuzzi, and the jets are going on.
And he's
And
already
yes,
shown himself before in the jacuzzi with the cigar. So
yes. And I actually do have a cigar sitting here. I have a drink sitting here. Wasn't set up to do what we're doing now, but sometimes things call for what they call for, and here I am.
once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro along with me, Gerald Glassford. Team USA advances on as the number one seed. Was there ever a doubt after a 104-83 victory over Puerto Rico? Again, they play on Tuesday, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, and that'll be on NBC. Looking forward to it. And then Kobe did get honored with another statue. What do you think the third have they have they actually talked about what is going to be the third statue? I'm not sure exactly what they had said it was going to be.
I don't know. I just hope it's better than the first one.
Hopefully they got all the corrections on it. Yeah. So this time around.
Yeah, that wasn't good. I don't know how that I don't know how that could happen. Honestly, I would like to think that grammar is something that they would be able to catch before they release, but apparently they didn't.
Just called a little bit of proof and checking and just being able to look that up. Simple Google search would have helped them out on that occasion, but they did fix it finally, and hopefully they will go ahead and have this one. And the third one, I don't know of any date or that they announced for that third unveiling of the statue, but as I said, Joe, it is clear by the organization, even if it was still alive today, that he is still thought of in the organization and by many of its fans as the Laker of all time. If somebody comes up to me or if I'm asking them who is the greatest Laker of all time and they say Kobe, I'm not going to argue with them, because their love for Kobe stands true. I think he's awesome. I think he was great. I think he was just a fantastic part of what we're doing. And if you think he's the greatest Laker in the world, I'm never going to argue against that.
The three that I would put as the greatest Lakers all have their own argument, and no one can really deny it.
Yeah.
Number one would be Jerry West.
Mm-hmm.
The other would be Magic Johnson, and the other would be Kobe Bryant. Elgin Baylor has an argument there a little bit, but we didn't get a chance to see Elgin Baylor play. We did at least see Jerry West perform outside the court, where we could base a opinion on that as well. We saw Magic as well. I compare Jerry West, Magic, and Kobe as, let's say, if they were my children, there wouldn't be a better one than the other. I just wouldn't be able to pick. You look at Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was not only at that time the greatest Laker, but he was a game changer in the league, in creating what it's become. And then you have Kobe, who played for 20 years and brought a certain mentality that anyone out there could identify with. Someone who busted his rear end, came in and night out, played his heart out. It's just no one can argue against that, and he performed at the highest level on top of that. So for me, I look at Jerry West, Magic Johnson, and Kobe Bryant as equals. I feel that those three each have a spot at one, and there isn't a 1A, a 1B, or a 1C on those. I would say they're each one, and one.
So when that's the case, you have no problem with having three Kobe statues as opposed to, again, if I take egos out of the equation, just having three Kobe statues is awesome for me as a Kobe fan. I like the statues, and I've been next to the statues. I've taken pictures with the other statues there. I think they're all fantastic, very tasteful, as long as they're proofread next time. They're all very tasteful and really good. I even like the last one of Kobe. I mean, obviously, again, once they fixed it, it was a lot better. But I still think that, again, when you have so many great players, it's tough. It's tough to make sure that you have a great representation of them. But I don't feel slighted in any way that the Kobe's going to have three where the others have just one. Because, again, the fact that they're being honored in and of itself is just absolutely fantastic by the organization, that you have that space set aside near the crypt to be able to do so. I think it's absolutely a great move. We bash on this organization a lot. We bash on the Lakers a lot, but this time there's no bashing from us.
It's likely that there wouldn't be a second or third statue if Kobe hadn't passed. This is more a tribute.
I had a feeling you were going to say that, and I'm not going to say I
Yeah,
disagree with you on that.
yeah. The latest statue is a remembrance of more about his daughter than it is about him. Remembrance is nice. If his family's happy about it, I'm happy about it. I try and focus on, from my personal standpoint, I try to focus on when I see Kobe online doing interviews from past interviews, and also, let's say, if he's on TV doing interviews on past discussions about championship runs or documentaries. When I see that, I feel like he's still around. Statues, in a lot of ways, create an ending. And knowing what we know, it's a sad ending. It was a life cut short, way short. And more so than him, it's his young kid who had a huge future in front of her. It's hard to watch this stuff and say, hey, what do you think about that? I don't look at it as, oh, look at the statue. Do you like it or not? No, I'm more thinking about Vanessa doesn't have her daughter anymore. I don't, and she doesn't have her husband anymore, and it makes me sad. That's what that's what the second statue did to me in terms of my initial reaction. I don't like it. I don't like seeing it because it makes me remember the sadness.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It's Joe Soro and me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this. We thought we'd come on for a few minutes and talk about Team USA's dominating victory again today, 104-83, and then also Kobe Bryant getting honored with a second statue, the second of 3 statues. Not sure when the third one comes around, but we'll talk about it here when it does. But before we head on out, my friend, the Lakerholics will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. I think is what they're shooting for, to talk about some of the latest rumors. And you know that Laker Tom is going to go crazy on it, but it's a quiet time for the league right now, Joe. And I think a lot of people are coming to grips more and more each and every day, the fact that it's going to stay quiet in El Segundo. And I don't think that there's anything planned by Rob or Jeannie until we get to training camp.
Looks like they're running back what they had, plus a few draft picks. It's unfortunate, and I just don't feel like this is the time to harp on it again. I think we can enjoy the USA run and see dominance and see winning and see results. Once this tournament is over and the USA team are sitting on top of the podium and biting on their gold medals, we can enjoy that, we can embrace it, and then after that we can start getting back into talking about the fact that the Lakers are likely heading towards something that might not be something that's going to make us too comfortable.
Once again, it is Joe Soro and me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this. I truly appreciate it. Joe, I've tried to keep it going, keep it flowing as far as the Lakers news and trends. Not many other places do that. Not many other channels do that, but we're trying to do it for the audience out there that does support us, even in the slow times. And I'm greatly appreciative of that. But any last thoughts, my friend, on the way out?
Last thoughts are nothing that we haven't discussed already. I'd like to see, once LeBron and AD are back to Laker business, maybe we'll start seeing some activity going here and there. I don't know how to assess that at the moment. We're going to have to wait and see.
Cool Bro is saying, because I suggested to him, because he went to the barbers today and his protest over the Olympics failed because he had to watch the Olympics there. I told him he should have gotten a mohawk with Joe Soro. I love Joe Soro on one side, and the other side Team USA and the other. Well, he already's left, so he can't do that. So I told him to go to the tattoo parlor and get that on his arms instead. So you know what? I don't know for sure, cool bro, but why don't you try? Why don't you get a Team USA tattoo on your arm and then get a I love Joe Soro tattoo on your other arm and see if the ladies do come running to you, my friend. Why don't you go ahead and do that? And you let us know. You let us know. How about that? So,
I highly recommend Cool Bro not doing any kind of tattoos at this moment.
not even
Tattoos
if it says Joe Soro on it.
contrary to what they say about removals. I love Joe Soro. I've seen a lot of these removal sketches and videos, and it doesn't look like it really works. So don't get a tattoo unless you're 100%. But how do you know what the hell is 100% at age 15?
Mission 24, thank you so much for the super chat. Truly appreciate it. USA, truly appreciate you doing that. Tattoos are not a sin. I've got 2 of them. So don't even
They're
say
not
that.
a sin. No, I'm not saying they're a sin.
No.
I'm saying they're permanent. If they're not permanent, yeah, you got to change things and reconfigure things. That's still a task you don't want to deal with.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. Yeah, you can make them sinful dare. My Lakers Avengers. And there you go. But once
Oh, and
again,
by the way, the Bible says you're not supposed to mutilate your body. So anybody that tells you otherwise is not comprehending the Bible well.
well, again, I don't agree with that. If you want to go ahead and beautify your body with art, like I did with the Lakers tattoo and my Avengers tattoo, be yourself. Be who you want to be. Just try to be a good person. That's all I ask. You also believe watching. You're crazy, cool bro. You're absolutely crazy. But once again, next time get the mohawk. It is the Lakers fast break. It is Gerald Glassford and Joe Soro. Thanks again for watching this thing. We'll be back tomorrow in the morning, 11 a.m. But I'm going to let Joe relax and enjoy the rest of his Saturday evening in the jacuzzi. Yes, absolutely going to enjoy that, my friend. So yeah, let you enjoy the jacuzzi waters. But man, gonna enjoy this weather and enjoy the summer for as much as you can, my friend. I don't blame you.
Yes, I will. It's been very hot the last few weeks here in Southern California, but being in cool waters has helped. And thank you all for listening here tonight. I've been pretty vague and bland tonight, but that's because we want to let everyone know that when we're discussing teams that are actually creating results.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had a schmuck in the area screw up my discussion here. We are here to speak positive because there are positive things going, especially with the USA team. And we're going to have that for another week or so. And we'll continue to preach that and analyze that. And until this positiveness is done, which it will be soon, we'll jump back into the Laker path and go back into reality and see how that reality progresses as September and October hit.
As long as AD and LeBron stay around 20 minutes, I think I'm cool with that, Joe. It's when I see those numbers, especially with LeBron, climb higher and climb higher, that's what gets me concerned. But my God, if you can get him to an easy victory for Team USA and you can only need him for 17 minutes, Joe, that's like a workout. That's like an off-season workout for him, Joe.
I haven't seen anything rigorous on this team. I haven't seen it. I think LeBron and AD look like they're prepping, practicing. I don't see too much exertion on their part, so that's good. That's a positive for them to go into training camp. Hopefully, maybe a little bit more in shape, just because they have been playing this summer, and then we'll see if they can last for an 82 game regular season.
There is no way Joe's going to give you his number, CB. Absolutely no way. I'm congratulations on joining the real world and getting a phone. But yes, he's not. No way. But you could try calling Sim Blades and see where you go from there. So
Yeah, I don't give out numbers to. Yeah, I don't do that. Anyone. Let
oh,
them. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't. There's gonna have to be some kind of weeding out process that you're gonna have to figure out, and I just, I just don't talk to, especially when it comes to people who are under 18.
there you go. Absolutely, indeed. But once again, it is Joe Soro. I think when Cool Bro hits 18, if he's still talking to us, you're still the same. You'll still be the same way to him.
I've been around the Kobe era. I've been around the current culture too much to, and this is way before. I mean, I'm talking 15 years ago. There isn't. I'm not gonna get caught up in a case. I'm not gonna chance it. I'm very cautious with who I talk to and how I conduct my business. And yeah, do not in any personal way try to get at me, guys. I've had enough messages on my PlayStation, enough messages on my phone, random people saying hi, how are you, knowing full well who the hell they are, and telling them to fuck off.
You knew we had to throw something in there before we left on out, but it is, of course, Joe Soro. Truly, yeah, exactly, Kurt. We don't want to have this turn into a
I
Dateline
trust no
episode.
one, folks. I trust no one, and I cannot explain to you how good it is to be on guard 24/7. When you're on guard 24/7, it's very, very, very difficult for anyone to get on you. And I highly recommend you automatically anticipate someone's trying to jack you. If you do that, if I had to give you all some good advice, be cautious. Be very cautious. You just don't know how someone's going to get at you.
Exactly.
Call,
It's so
call me a
funny because
cynic.
the other day I just saw someone for the first time in years, Joe, here in Vegas, actually hitchhike. Actually was hitchhiking, doing the old thumbs. I was like, in 2024, really? Wow. Yeah.
You know what's sad about that, Gerald? You know what I saw today? I saw a Popeyes employee walking to work in 98-degree weather. And I knew I could not pull over and go, hey, do you need a ride that extra mile to work so she can get out of that heat? I couldn't, maybe 40 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago, I could have pulled over and said, hey, do you need a ride to work so you don't have to walk this extra mile to work? I knew it. I knew today I can't do that because she's going to think I'm some weirdo. And there's going to be some camera going, hey, you were bothering this lady. That's a sad commentary, but that's the world we live in, and unfortunately, we have to be cautious these days because you just never know what might come. Now, I'm not one of those guys that care about what people think, but what ends up happening there is you start getting, I don't know, law enforcement may be involved, or just some people, just people of that ilk will start to question things, and I don't really want to deal with any of that.
Yep. It's 2024. Don't even deal with it because, you're just asking for trouble. Bloodhound says, yeah, when I was a kid, my uncle picked up some hot young ladies who needed a ride in San Diego. Me and my brother were in the car. These days, if you did that, you'd be asking for a lot of trouble. Kurt Affair says Deadpool is a sin great movie. Yeah, CB, you saw Deadpool, and has a whole bunch of sin in it. Come on, don't be hypocritical, Joe.
I agree. Be
Yes,
careful. I'm
yes,
not saying don't do it, but don't do it.
don't do it. CB, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I would probably say no, CB, but yeah, just don't. All right, we've gone off way on a tangent. It's a late Saturday night. We're going to go ahead and let Joe enjoy the rest of his time in the jacuzzi, in the hot tub with a cigar and the drinks ready right there for you. He has some cold beverages he needs to get to. It is Joe Sorrell, aka Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. And of course, he is the mastermind behind Simblades, Simblades with a Y.com. We will be back tomorrow, 11 a.m., or at least the Lakerholics crew will be back talking about the latest trade rumors. They'll be on for a short period of time, talking about all the fun stuff that they love to talk about, with more crazy trade rumors from Laker Tom, who I suggested to Jamie. I think he needs an intervention because he's just getting more out there and more out there. But we'll go ahead and have the Lakerholics crew here.
Yeah, where the hell is Jamie anyways? I haven't heard from him in like 3 weeks.
Oh, he went on vacation for a little while. He went camping, I think. So
camping? Where?
I don't know. I don't remember. He tells us this in
people
text.
Still camp?
Yeah, they still camp out. Yes.
So you voluntarily want to live like a homeless person?
I apparently, yes. I didn't say I did. I said Jamie did.
I still don't understand this camping thing and why people get their jollies off it.
Wow. CB says, wait till I learn how to drive. Oh gosh, that's scary. I'm trying to teach 2 girls how to drive. Last thing I want to hear is you out there. Thank God you're in another state. But once again, well, he's in your state, Joe. Watch out. So LA freeways. There you go. Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. We will be back tomorrow, hopefully entertaining you with what the Lakerholics, and see those guys argue once again. It's always nice to see 3 elderly statesmen of the Lakers fan base arguing and just see them back and forth bickering. But we will go ahead and talk Lakers rumors. On the agenda will be tomorrow. I'll give Joe and Gerald driving. Good dear God, no.
What are the Laker rumors right now? We're gonna draft Cooper Flag next year.
It's all based around Jeremy Grant. He is the fascination of the week.
Shit. That's what it's based around. There's nothing the Lakers are getting this offseason. Get that through your heads, guys. Anytime you see any clickbait garbage out there, it's all bullshit. Stick to the Lakers Fast Break. You guys are going to be in reality, in the truth, things that matter on this show. For those of you who are on here for the first time, you're not going to get any fluff. Okay?
Well,
we might not make you feel as good, but we're going to be real.
I'm just going to tell you now, when they talk about it, the names that have been bandied around as far as rumors. And
Gerald likes to make it sound like the show's ending like 2 minutes into the show. That's never the case, Mark.
Lonnie Walker the fourth, Jalen Green, Rui Hashimura.
Lonnie Walker the fourth.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Trey
Lonnie Walker's gone. Why are we still talking about Lonnie Walker? And what the hell would he do anyways?
Jalen Green.
Who?
Anthony Simons.
Jalen Green. Why not just go say that Michael Jordan in his prime is coming?
Bruce Brown, Clint Capella.
And how are the Lakers going to get these guys? Someone explain it to me. I keep telling you guys, where are these names coming from? Clickbaits. How are they explaining how the Lakers are going to get these guys? With what?
Oh, Thomas Bryant.
What? Gold? Like what? How are you going to get these guys? For what? You all know how the system works, don't you? Do you guys do any research?
No, actually, because Jeremy had a question on that as far as the second tax apron, because he was asking for a suggestion we should dump Cam Reddish and get someone else in there, and I'm like,
where are you dumping Cam Reddish? Where? This is the NBA. You dump Cam Reddish, you're still paying him.
Mm-hmm.
For what though? You're not gonna change any aprons, just dumping him. And who's gonna pick him up? No one. If you want to dump Cam Reddish, you're going to have to dump draft capital that you don't have. You all need to seriously get with the program. I am not a CBA whiz, but I do know the basics of this thing. As much as it sucks and how stupid the PA and the owners put this thing together, what it is that this team has put itself in a position where there's nothing they can do in terms of increasing any kind of talent on this team without giving up very little draft capital that they do have. And if they want to get any player with any relevance, they're going to have to give up the few guys that actually can play. And then at that point, what is the point? Are they going to be able to get better? No. It becomes more of a lateral move. This team has no shot at getting any talent on this team in its current situation.
But Bloodhound, when even if you spread it out over 3 years, you're still not avoiding the second tax apron because they're so close to the cap, because Rob Pelinka has done such a lousy job of money management. So yeah, we're rock hard place. That's where we're at. So right in the middle. But it's Joe Sorrow, me, Joe Glassford. We'll be back tomorrow with the Lakerholics, talking about whatever they want to talk about with the trade rumors. Laker Tom will find a way, because he just loves giving away our draft choices for nothing. And he'll find a way to go ahead and get us all angry and get the other Lakerholics angry as only he can, because the trade rumors are coming. They're coming tomorrow, right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Enjoy the hot tub, Joe. Enjoy the hot
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Love you all. We'll see you mañana.
All right. See you mañana, everyone. Thank you. Take care.